Director Rochelle De Gara, are you here? Hello.
Mr. Chair, good afternoon.
Yes, Ms. Rochelle.
For the record, Mr. Chair, the Regional Director is Attorney John Ivy Abrina.
Okay.
Madam Director, good afternoon.
Good afternoon po.
Earlier, Madam, I made reference to the letter of your director in Region 10, Cynthia Rosales, who wrote to the Office of the Commissioner for the Urban Poor. After endorsing that complaint of certain residents of PCU to the PCUP, Madam Director, what other assistance did you extend to the aggrieved residents in Lam-An who coordinated with your office earlier on?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, I am Director John Ivy Abrina. Our Chief Legal Officer from CHR Region 10, Attorney Rochelle Dagaraga, will answer your questions, Your Honor, as she has our case file for this case. Shell?
Yes, earlier we were talking about the earlier endorsement letter issued by your office in Cagayan de Oro to the office of the PCUP. I'm now asking, what else did you do in order to help aggrieved citizens who coordinated earlier with your office?
Your Honor, we conducted an investigation, Your Honor.
Okay. What happened? What did you find out?
The results will be presented by Attorney Dagaraga, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
What is the gist of your report?
Your Honor, a team from the CHR Regional Office conducted an investigation last year. They went to Ozamiz City. We have two investigators who coordinated with residents of Lam-An. From their investigation, they were able to find out that indeed there was demolition that occurred sometime in August, since that was the complaint of the parties who sent a letter to our central office. So actually, I have on hand the final investigation report prepared by our handy investigator. Inspector, Special Investigator Cajes. So we are even with the preparation of our final investigation report, we are continually monitoring the situation in Lam-An. In fact, for this quarter, they were also able to return in Lam-An to coordinate also with the complainants. They were able to confirm that indeed there was demolition that occurred in August 2020.
What about the demolition that occurred sometime in April of the same year? Did you also find that out?
For our record, Your Honor, we were able to secure the video for the August demolition. Although we were informed of the demolition that occurred earlier, but we had no video, but we were able to have the pictures, Your Honor, of the demolition.
Did you find out, Madam, if the court issued any writ or orders of demolition prior to the destruction of their houses?
For our record, Your Honor, we were only able to we were not able to secure any copy of our writ of demolition since we coordinated with the court, and we only the court already only furnished us the writ of possession, Your Honor.
Yes, but the writ of possession is entirely different from a writ of demolition.
Yes, sir.
Considering that you were unable to that the court was unable to provide you writs of demolition, did you assume that there was really no writ of demolition or orders of demolition issued by the court?
Yes, Your Honor. For our record, we were able to find out that only a writ of possession was
So
issued, Your Honor.
on record, you found out that there was no orders or writs of demolition being issued by the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you find, Madam, uh, human rights violations in relation to the destruction and demolition of those houses without orders of demolitions coming from the court?
For our finding, Your Honor, since we are mandated to conduct monitoring of um, economic, social, and cultural rights violations, we found out that um, the conduct of the demolition um, without the writ of demolition and also the manner it was conducted uh, is contrary to is contrary to uh, is contrary uh, to what we espouse, which should be a humane and humane conduct of demolition. So it is the recommendation of our handling investigator to further monitor the case since there are still ongoing incidents of um, there are still we still continue to receive updates from the complainants, Your Honor, of happenings in the area.
Can the aggrieved families or residents, Madam, expect the protection of CHR in any capacity, especially so that they have not been relocated and they are, I think, in a very pitiful condition because they are up against the very LGU that should protect them at the moment?
Uh, the Commission on Human Rights, Your Honor, is continually monitoring the situation in Lam-An. In fact, with our data on hand, this case is pending resolution. So once the resolution will be finished, we will be giving a copy to the concerned parties with our recommendation, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Madam. Mr. Chair, I will now go to the National Housing Authority representative.
Yes, NHA Region 10, Attorney Carlo, Quirap.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
May I know your name, sir?
I'm Carlo Quirap, Your Honor.
Attorney?
Attorney Carlo Quirap, Your Honor.
Attorney Carlo. Okay
Yes,
na ba
Your
yun?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Carlo, do you think the Ozamiz LGU observed the requisites and provisions of Republic Act 7279 in regard to the order of preference, priorities, and modalities of land acquisition for socialized housing?
Again, Your Honor.
Do you think the Ozamiz LGU observed the requisites and provisions of Republic Act 7279 in regard to the order of preference, priorities, and modalities of land acquisition for socialized housing?
Your Honor, if it is an on-site development, Your Honor, I believe that they complied with Your Honor with the. They don't have to comply with the RA 7279.
What is the legal anchor in giving us that answer?
It's I forgot the provision, specific provision, Your Honor, but there is an exemption to the order of preference, Your Honor.
Attorney Carlo, we're talking about Republic Act 7279.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have reviewed fully the provisions of this law. I did not have, or I did not read any exceptions to that in regard to the preference and priorities. The only exception I saw is that when you will resort to expropriation, there are exceptions there. Small landholders, small lot owners are exempted from the implementation of that act. Now, if you are saying that because the area is inside development. Do you know that that is still a bill? It is not yet a law, attorney. That's why I'm asking you, what legal provision are you citing when you're saying that the LGU is exempted because it is an inside site development? Alam mo bang House Bill pa lamang yung inside, near city, and in-city site development? Hindi pa batas yan eh. Are you citing the bill?
No, Your Honor, sa RA
Ano yung
7279, Your Honor.
what is your legal anchor in saying na hindi applicable ang 7279 simply because the LGU Ozamiz chose the inside development? Nasa bill namin yun, pero hindi pa batas yan. Do you have any comment?
In section 9, Your Honor, the priorities in acquisition of land, Your Honor.
Oh.
It's the where on-site development is found more practicable advantages to the beneficiaries, the priorities mentioned shall not apply. That's my basis, Your Honor.
What law are you saying? What law are you citing?
RA 7279, Your Honor, section 9, the last paragraph there, Your Honor.
What does it say?
Where on-site development is found more practicable and advantageous to the beneficiaries, the priorities mentioned in this section shall not apply, Your Honor. The LGU shall give budgetary priority to on-site development of government lands, Your Honor.
But
so,
your opinion is driving only with the selection made by the DPWH. We need to make the preference. Alam mo ba, maski na yung Korte Suprema cited Section 9, kasi nag-umpisa kayo sa expropriation eh.
Your Honor, NHA is not part of the expropriation, Your Honor.
The modality stated under Section 9, under Section 10, expropriation ang ginawa ninyo eh.
Your Honor, I want to be clear, Your Honor, NHA was not part of the expropriation. We are only aware of the demolition after the fact, Your Honor. That's the time we reach out to the LGU and extend NHA's technical assistance, Your Honor.
Okay, pero aren't you aware of the mandate of Republic Act 7279, because it is supposed to be in pursuit of the National Urban Development and Housing Framework. Eh. Lahat ng gagawin natin, LGU or even the national government connected to housing must conform to the National Urban Development and Housing Framework. Hindi naman yung
yes,
bigla ka na lang gagawa ng housing project, sinabi mo na lang na inside, you still have to coordinate with the National Housing Authority because kayo yung key agency in implementing the National Urban Development and Housing Framework. Is that not correct?
Yes, Your Honor. But in this case, Your Honor,
Is it unusual for the DPWH to implement a housing project? DPWH?
Technically, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor.
Unusual, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you expect the DPWH and LGU Ozamiz at the very least to have notified or coordinated with your office before proceeding with the housing project?
For law, Your Honor, it should have been in coordination.
But they did not, right?
I'm not aware, Your Honor, if there were communication on ground prior.
That is the correct answer there, okay? Is it not the fact that under Executive Order number 90, dated December 17, 1986, the sole government agency engaged in direct shelter production is the National Housing Authority?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you believe that the NHA was bypassed in the execution of these projects in Lam-An? Because at the very least, as you have said, you should have been involved in this project pursuant to the National Urban Development and Housing Framework mandated by RA 7279. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
yung pong ano ninyo, kilala po niyo si Engineer Madeleine Hilda Abeliera, Attorney Carlo?
Yes, Your Honor. She's our district manager for
Yeah.
Bukidnon, Misook, and Lanao del Norte.
Oo, kasi meron siyang sulat which was dated December 5, 2019. Meron ko akong kopya niyan and I will submit all this to the committee COMSEC. In that letter, Attorney Carlo, Mr. Chair, the NHA informed the concerned residents that it is siya itong sole agency lang in providing housing assistance through slum upgrading, squatter, relocation site, development, and et cetera. In fact, Mr. Chair, in the penultimate paragraph of said letter, stated that the property, meaning ito pong insight na sinasabi ng Lam-An, are titled lots and lot owners are income earners and the areas are not identified as blighted, slum, and are not subject for the development as mandated. Sinulat niya ito eh. As a matter of fact, I have there slide 24, COMSEC, kung may papakita natin. Totoo na kung sinulat ni Ms. Abeliera, Attorney Carlo, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. But although NHA is the sole agency in charge of housing, Your Honor, it does not preclude other branches of the government to implement housing, Your Honor. As long as it is allowed within their budget, I think it would be still feasible, Your Honor.
But sa batas nga, sila yung chief implementer nito pursuant to the National Urban and Development Housing Framework.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kung ng ibang agency, but in coordination with the NHA para hindi magulo ang implementation, hindi ba ganun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kasi if I can show you another slide, COMSEC, pwede ba nating ipakita yung slide 25? Ito ay video. Ito yung kay Miss Abeliera was trying to explain, Mr. Chair, na sila talaga yung sole agency in providing housing assistance through slum upgrading. At sinabi niya doon na yung area na pinagtayuan ng mga building hindi suitable because they were titled lots and the lot owners are income earners at hindi slum area yon for that development. Ngayon, ito yung 25 now, Mr. Chair, the Mayor of Ozamiz City will be seen here lecturing Miss Abeliera, and you can see how Miss Abeliera is behaving here. Siguro yung last part na lang, Miss Madam Comsec. Hindi rin natin marinig, Mr. Chair. Ano?
Mahina taga-volume, DS Marcoleta.
Oo nga, but ganito na lang, Mr. Chair. Ipapaliwanag ko that after this video, ay gumawa ng sulat yung si Ms. Madeleine Abeliera kasi parang na-pressure siya rito at pinalitan niya yung sulat at yan ay makikita sa slide 27. Ayan, makikita po ninyo kung paano siya parang na-pressure dyan sapagkat pinatawag siya ng mayor. And in slide 27, at yan naman ipakikita ko rin ang nasa akin ng isang sulat niya, Mr. Chair, para makita natin that she changed her tune in a subsequent letter dated January 14, 2020. For the record, I have to mention this, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, yun na muna ako doon.